question answer sessions. We will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to unmute your audio and speak out your question one by one. Thank you. Maharaj Ji, how could we take human rights to fulfill its goal under the vision of Swami Vivekananda?
Please repeat the question.
How could we take human rights to fulfill its goal under the vision of Swami Vivekananda?
Okay, that's what the lecture all was about. So,
Yes, yes.
so I think it's the same thing we discussed. It's not that we have discussed it exhaustively. It's a lot of things, lot of small things we have to discuss. But one thing is very important. Swami used to say, education is the panacea of all problems. So it is a solution to all problems. It is the non-education or wrong education. That is the reason for all problems. Human, see, if you go to a family, just think of a family. Now, who gives respect to his parents and who does not? He will see it's a problem in education. Maybe a child of a very rich guy, rich person, he's brought up in such a way that he forgot that he should respect people. So he does not respect his parents and others also. So we teach them without our own knowledge. And it's very important point. Everybody should know. We call it Chaturashrama, we call it ashrama. Why Grihastha is an ashrama? It's one of the most important ashrama. Why? Because people are giving, they're building up the new generation. Happens a very peculiar thing. Till age of 5 or 4, in pediatric psychology, it is there that a boy cannot speak, it cannot argue, it cannot learn. It cannot understand instruction. Tell truth, it will not understand instruction. But whatever he sees, be it language, be it behavior, be it attitude, he will learn everything silently. So up to age 5 or 4, the whole thing, what the person will become, has silently been imprinted in him or her. But the parents don't know. They think it's a silent doll sitting. It does not understand anything. So what all they're doing? So they're telling lies, they're fighting, they're torturing, or whatever they're doing. So the small boy is learning everything. So in our Indian ethos, it was there, start education from the childhood, and it is there what our President Ji has already mentioned. The one mantra, Tamasi Niranjana. This is a very important story Swami used to mention, that Madalasa is to give her small children born. She was a knower of Brahman. She was a liberated person. So that great lady used to give swing to his small kids and say, Thomas Niranjan, you are the same pure and without any tarnish of black and sin. You are that pure person. You are that pure one. This listening to the pure one, you are the pure, you are the good, you are the great. Listening to the truth. It's not just I'm going on making some boosting statement. You are a great person. You will become a fast boy, not telling lies. It's the truth. You're the pure, Tamasi Niranjana. That makes the wonderful citizens. So a person whose parents have taught them to sacrifice for friends, parents have taught them to work for others, to understand our others' the sufferings, to help others, to sacrifice for others. The parents who have taught, the children will become that. Parents don't know that. So similarly as countrymen, what education we give, and education is not that what frame we are understanding education. It's not a real education. Do you think multiple choice makes a man? It cannot be. So in every corner, there are problems. Until and unless we know the real nature of human being, We cannot even sort out the problem. What is wrong being done with the person? If I know person is a divine being, then I will treat it differently. If I know it's an animal, I will treat it like a dog. So in Western philosophy and philologies, they always treated human being as Darwinian principle at the most. But that does not solve the human rights problem. Human has to be treated human. Now human has to be treated. What is the deeper instincts of human? You will see to the family, you will understand what is the deeper things. So Swamiji has always given back to the farmer's house, to the small house, what we call micro correction of the problem. Along with the macro corrections, what measures we take, the micro correctional measures are wonderful thing. That is the only thing which works. Because if even we can make one human, that is a great achievement. The human being. Swamiji says, give me 500 young men of fiery heart and nerve of still and strength and shraddha. I can change the world in few days. This is his claim. So he says, where is human being? The human being has to be there before we will do the right things, because it has to be continued. It cannot be that torture goes on. That's not the point. But if you want to really do good and really do meaningful things, you have to go to the real human nature. It is very simple. If you give something, some person a gift, you feel so much good. Swamiji says, these are the very small things. Says, if you do a small thing as a sacrifice for others, you will see your heart will be imbibed with the strength of a lion. Hridaya Shingavale Shanchara. Why it happens? He's sacrificing. Materially, he's losing. He's a loser. So selflessness, he says, selflessness pays more, much more than selfishness. Now, these secrets are so deeply in human. We are taught, be selfish, always take care of yourself, be more than others, comparative lifestyle. So he can never be at peace. So his view is changed. When you change your view, your action will be changed. You will be revengeful. You will be selfish. So by laws and all, how can we make a human right thing possibly implemented? It's absolutely for India to make the right definition of human being, then automatically a civilization will come. The civilization will speak what is human rights. Not the all laws. Laws are made for what? For the good of the human being only. I think it will do.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj Ji.
Pranam Maharaj, I have two questions for you. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Make
yes,
one first. Do one.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj, you mentioned about human responsibilities. So what can be done to ensure that human rights and human responsibilities go hand in hand? Because in today's world, we see that after claiming human rights, the responsibilities seem to be disappearing.
It is very simple. Everybody understands, who are all understanding the right. They in their inner soul understand the responsibility. But responsibility is tough to do. Right is so easy to claim. So until and unless a student can claim a right to pass the exam, but he has already a responsibility to study. But he may not understand in the beginning. But when the exam comes, he understands that yes, I have to study. So what he was saying, that I don't understand, that I need to study for that. Before exam, he will understand he need to study. Means this thing should come to him also. That suppose I should give food to a suffering, the person who has never suffered from lack of food, he will never understand that you must give food to the suffering. He will not understand that. So understanding also presumes that your heart should know the suffering, understand the suffering. So understanding others' suffering, understanding the human problems is a real responsibility. So until and unless you understand you are responsible human being, you cannot go for claiming a right for human being. And that is done in many cases, in families also, in countries also, in states also. But we have always seen, as you say, that does never work. You may make a lot of hues and cries in claiming rights, but you will see personally, they are not, if you give them the right, they will not be able to preserve the right also, enjoy the right also. They will distort it, they will pollute it, because they are fundamentally not responsible. So the aim was to make the human living good and noble and nice. That is not served. So what the law will do? There will be always there will be an endeavor to distort law, to misinterpret law, and to make law in your favor. That is very simple. It is not exactly law. I say to you that law does not prove the civilization, it rather disproves civilization. That we are not civilized enough, that we need to have so many laws to keep ourselves correct. So we have to fundamentally and always, we must be responsible human being first. So Swamiji teaches that. Swamiji always teaches how to become a responsible human being, but the presumption is so wonderful. He says, don't think that you are weak. Don't think that you are worthless. Why? Because the special thing what Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, or other great giants have done, which nobody could do. That's why they are giants, that they could discover the real nature of human being. While Swamiji said in the West for the first time, oh, you know, what a wonderful word of hope. It's called, you are the children of immortality. You know, many great people wrote in the newspaper that first time in my life, I could listen to this wonderful voice of real joy and peace. And I am now satisfied that I am a Yehudi, I am a Christian. He started feeling that I am a wonderful Christian. Why? Because the basic human nature is served there. Swamiji says very blatantly, he says, it is a sin, standing sin, to call man sinner. So I should not see him as a sinner. That vision is very important. That is everything of human behavior, you know. Human behavior is more important here. How I believe, that way I behave. So it looks very small. This is the main crux of the problem, that self-esteem. Swamiji used to cry that my work is, if I could have given back their own individuality, is to say, you are all the son of great people, son of rishis, and see your condition, you have gone to what a tremendous low level of self-esteem. Self-esteem has to be given. We are always now afraid of becoming ahankaris. We are having greatest spiritual knowledge. Ahankar is bad. For whom it is bad? For spiritual seeker. But Swamiji is to say, at least have some proper confidence and ahankar for doing something good. We have done nothing. So this absolute inactivity, ashraddha, and as a result of that, tremendous amount of extroversion, tremendous amount of finding faults, doing faulty things. These only is giving a failure to the movements always. So the more we go to the root, the more we find the right solution. And The root is so deep and profound that we have to take recourse to this type of giant thinkers. They will give us the light.
Thank